This will happen in 1 hour. Someone will give you a surprise in your life. This will happen in the next 60 minutes. Someone will bring an unexpected gift into your world. God says, don't dismiss this as entertainment. If you ignore it, you will regret it. Listen before the next 5 seconds pass. My precious child, stay completely still. Don't let your attention drift. What's about to manifest in your reality will touch your heart in the most profound way. This is not a chance encounter. It's a heavenly orchestration, and you've just entered the moment you were destined for. Remain until the final word, because the next few minutes could transform everything. There's an individual, someone you never anticipated, arranging something in the background, not by accident, but by divine design. The way they'll enter your space, it will feel instantaneous, almost dreamlike. Don't leave, because before 60 minutes expire, a subtle indication will emerge. Perhaps a notification, a ring, or a recognizable voice reaching out. That's not mere chance. That's the divine realm announcing the time has come. Your soul will sense it before your thoughts can process. You might experience a sudden heat rising in your spirit or a gentle wave moving through your body. That's heaven validating this message was meant for you. Every moment you're still present means you were selected to claim what others overlooked. Don't turn away now. Something monumental is approaching. The surprise arriving isn't material wealth or possessions. It's about healing, understanding, and an opening to tranquility. Someone who wounded you before or disappeared without explanation is finally comprehending your value, and they're approaching with something unforeseen. Their absence has spoken louder than any confession, but tonight that absence shatters. Within the next 60 minutes, you'll recognize it. Maybe through an unexpected message, a vision, or a sensation that resurrects memories. It will be your proof that God's timing was never postponed, just perfecting. Stay until the conclusion. The precision is flawless. Heaven doesn't repeat divine appointments. You were destined to witness this at this precise instant. Not earlier, not later. What's approaching isn't coincidental, it's celestial arrangement. Don't leave. Because in 1 hour, when the minute hand reaches a particular position, you'll recall this voice, this sensation, this revelation. And when it manifests, you'll understand God never abandoned you. Something transformative is already in transit, silently, forcefully. Certainly, my precious child, don't scroll now. Something enormous is about to happen. The atmosphere surrounding you is already transforming. Can you sense that peaceful yet charged energy? That's not your mind playing tricks. It's the instant before a divine disclosure. Stay until the conclusion, because this is where your narrative becomes brilliant. Someone at this very second is restraining words that belong to you. They've composed and deleted the communication countless times, nervous, uncertain, but directed by something greater. Within the next 60 minutes, that reluctance will dissolve and their honesty will finally find you. Don't leave, because this isn't fortune, it's synchronicity. The one who previously disregarded your significance is being shown who you genuinely are. Every sorrow, every isolated evening, every petition you murmured in secrecy, heaven gathered all of it, and now the response is returning amplified. Stay until the conclusion, because I guarantee the next voice you encounter, the next identity that illuminates your device, will signify something beyond coincidence. The cosmos has reorganized routes, redirected souls, and reconstructed sequences just to deliver this instant to you. This surprise isn't designed to startle you with terror, it's designed to fill you with serenity. It will arrive gently, like a tap you almost missed, like radiance streaming through your space after an endless night. Stay here, my child, because missing even an instant could mean missing the indication itself. Your existence is entering a silent brilliance, a transformation so genuine it won't require explanation. In 1 hour, something small yet mighty will present itself to you, and when it does, you'll comprehend why heaven made you pause this long. Keep watching, keep breathing, don't shift. Stay until the conclusion, because when it arrives, it won't be accidental. It'll feel like fate reconnecting with you, and every pulse from now until then is carrying the rhythm of your miracle drawing nearer. My precious child, don't shift, because this is the pivotal moment. Every second you remain here draws you closer to the instant heaven guaranteed. The surprise is already unfolding. The communication is being written. The contact is being considered. The scenario is aligning behind the veil of time. Stay until the conclusion, because what's coming isn't minor. It's significant. Someone's awareness is awakening right now. They're recalling the way you affected them, the calm in your company, and the connection they attempted to replace but never could. Don't leave, because if you depart now, you might miss the instant the cosmos selects to verify your miracle. Every sensation, every spontaneous reflection, every recognizable melody playing suddenly, it's not accidental. It's a divine message from above declaring, persist, your instant is close. Stay until the conclusion, because even the celestial beings are quiet, anticipating the divine signal to reveal the surprise. The one who previously departed is now returning slower this time, carrying something they never possessed before: awareness, remorse, and preparation. This 1 hour will demonstrate that postponement doesn't equal rejection. Heaven never refused, it just declared not yet. But now the season of waiting concludes. Your identity is being mentioned in spaces you've never accessed, and grace is correcting every incorrect statement spoken against you. Stay attentive, my child. You are being arranged, not disciplined. The force around you is no longer dormant. It's animated, shifting, beckoning, organizing. The surprise won't just emerge. It'll arrive when your spirit feels peaceful, not frantic. That's how you'll know it's from God. Don't scroll, because your fate is being transported like a protected envelope, one that only you are destined to unseal. And when it finds you, you'll finally comprehend why you had to encounter this message first, why you had to pause until this precise instant. Stay until the conclusion. The countdown is nearly finished, and what's approaching is going to reach your soul so profoundly. You'll know heaven preserved its promise all along. My precious child, don't leave. You've arrived at the instant heaven has been directing you toward. The atmosphere feels altered right now because something sacred is developing around you. Stay until the conclusion, because the next few sentences will reflect exactly what's about to occur in your reality. Right now, someone's spirit is trembling. They've been harboring a truth about you, one they couldn't express before. The burden of quietness is overwhelming them, and God is urging them to finally communicate, to disclose what was concealed, to restore what was removed from you in silence. Stay until the conclusion, because this isn't coincidence. This is divine precision. You are standing in the center of your fulfilled request. That restless sensation you've experienced all day, it's your spirit detecting the shift that's about to materialize before the clock reaches the next hour. Don't scroll. The surprise won't arrive with celebrations or loud commotion. It'll arrive quietly, like peace entering a space after years of turbulence, a communication, a signal, a contact. It will seem simple at first, but deep within, you'll know it's exceptional. This individual who's about to contact you has practiced their expression countless times. They don't understand why they're suddenly feeling drawn toward you, but heaven understands, because the 1 hour countdown isn't accidental. It's the divine timepiece aligning with your belief. Stay until the conclusion. Every second you remain connected to this message reinforces the connection between you and your miracle. Even as you breathe right now, your blessing is advancing closer, step by step, breath by breath, until it arrives softly at your existence's entrance. Stay and observe, because this is not the conclusion, it's the commencement. The surprise isn't just arriving to alter your day, it's arriving to transform your entire trajectory. And when it manifests, you'll remember this voice declaring, "You were never abandoned, only prepared." Now breathe and anticipate. The next sound you perceive, the next illumination you witness will carry your validation. The hour of your divine surprise has already commenced. My precious child, stay right where you are. Don't even consider scrolling, because you've traveled too far to turn back now. The energy that began building the moment you started reading is reaching its peak. What was distant is now immediate. What was uncertain is now confirmed. Stay until the conclusion, because the invisible threads of destiny are pulling someone directly toward your frequency. They're fighting resistance, questioning their impulse, but something stronger than logic is guiding them. That force is divine will, and it cannot be ignored. Don't leave. The signs will multiply now. You might notice repeating sequences, hear your name in unexpected places, or feel a sudden warmth spreading through your chest. These aren't illusions. These are heaven's fingerprints marking your path. Stay and observe, because the individual connected to this surprise is wrestling with courage at this very instant. They've opened their device a dozen times. They've stared at your name. They've tried to rationalize away what their soul is screaming at them to do, but heaven is louder than fear, and within this hour, faith will win. Don't scroll, because the moment their message arrives or their voice breaks through, you'll feel time stand still. Not because it's dramatic, but because it's divinely timed. Everything you've released, every prayer you've whispered, every tear you've hidden, it was all building to this. Stay until the conclusion. The atmosphere around you is charged with potential. Can you feel the shift in temperature, the way the air seems to hold its breath? That's heaven pausing before delivery. You are standing at the intersection where the supernatural meets the natural, and in less than an hour, those two worlds will merge in your reality. Don't leave, my child, because what's coming isn't just closure, it's confirmation. Confirmation that you were never forgotten, that your worth was never diminished, that your story was never finished. This surprise is the period at the end of a long, painful sentence and the capital letter beginning a beautiful new chapter. Stay and observe, because heaven doesn't send warnings, it sends invitations. And this message is yours, sealed with your name, delivered at the exact moment you needed it most. The one who carries your surprise doesn't even know they're an answer to prayer. They think it's their idea, their decision, their timing, but heaven orchestrated every thought, every hesitation, every step that led them back to you. Don't scroll because the countdown is in its final phase. The divine clock is ticking not against you, but for you. Every second is intentional, every moment is preparation, and when the hour completes, you won't just receive a surprise, you'll receive proof that God's promises don't expire. Stay until the conclusion, my child, because the best part isn't the surprise itself, it's realizing you were worthy of it all along. My precious child, listen carefully now. There's something you need to understand about this exact moment. The universe doesn't bring people to messages like this by accident. Every click, every scroll, every second that led you here was divinely guided. Stay until the conclusion because what you're experiencing right now is called divine appointment. It's when heaven's timing intersects with human readiness. And you're ready even if you don't feel ready. Your spirit is prepared for what's coming even if your mind is still catching up. Don't leave because the person connected to this surprise has been on a journey too. A journey of realization, of regret, of recognition. They've compared every new face to yours and found them all lacking. They've searched for your energy in crowded rooms and felt only emptiness. They've tried to convince themselves they made the right choice, but their soul keeps whispering your name. Stay and observe, because heaven has been working on both sides of this miracle, preparing you to receive, preparing them to return, softening your heart so you won't reject what's coming, humbling their spirit so they'll approach you with authenticity. This isn't just about one person reaching out. This is about two souls being realigned by divine hands. Don't scroll because the signs are intensifying now. You might notice the time on your clock showing repeating numbers. 11:11, 2:22, 3:33. These aren't glitches. These are heaven's way of saying, I'm here, I'm moving, pay attention. You might feel sudden emotions washing over you. Not sadness, not anxiety, but something deeper, something anticipatory. That's your soul recognizing what your mind hasn't seen yet. Stay until the conclusion because the person bringing this surprise is fighting their own battle right now. Part of them wants to protect their pride. Part of them wants to play it safe. But the largest part, the part connected to their true self, is screaming at them to be brave, to be honest, to be real. And that part is winning. Don't leave, my child, because what you're about to receive isn't just words or gestures. It's energy, it's intention, it's truth wrapped in vulnerability. When someone comes to you from a place of genuine realization, there's a power in that, a healing power, a restoring power, a transforming power, and that's what's heading your way. Stay and observe because the universe is clearing the path right now. Any obstacles that could interfere, removed. Any distractions that could delay, blocked. Any negativity that could corrupt, neutralized. Heaven is creating a clean channel between you and your blessing, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can contaminate what God has purified. Don't scroll because every person who has ever hurt you, overlooked you, or underestimated you is part of a larger story, a story that heaven is writing. And in this story, every villain becomes a teacher, every loss becomes a lesson, every ending becomes a setup for a greater beginning. The person connected to this surprise played their role even when they didn't know it. And now they're being repositioned to play a new role, not as someone who causes pain, but as someone who confirms your value. Stay until the conclusion because this hour isn't just about receiving a surprise. It's about witnessing how God redeems what was broken, how he restores what was lost, how he turns mourning into dancing and weeping into joy. You're about to see in real time the faithfulness of heaven manifested in your reality. Don't leave because someone is looking at old photos right now, scrolling through memories, reading old messages, feeling the weight of time and the ache of distance. And in that feeling, they're finding clarity. Clarity that you were never just an option. You were always the choice. They just didn't have the wisdom to see it then, but they see it now. Stay and observe, my child, because heaven doesn't waste anything. Not your tears, not your prayers, not your patience. Every moment of waiting has been an investment in this very hour. And investments always yield returns. What's coming to you is the return on everything you've sown. Every night you cried yourself to sleep, heaven was collecting interest. Every day you chose to keep believing, heaven was multiplying the blessing. Every time you forgave when you could have held a grudge, heaven was preparing the surprise. Nothing was in vain. Don't scroll because the person reaching out has rehearsed this moment in their mind 1,000 times. They've imagined your reaction, hoped for your grace, feared your rejection, but something stronger than fear is driving them now. It's called divine compulsion. When God puts someone on assignment, they can't rest until they complete it. And you, beloved, are their assignment. Stay until the conclusion, because when the surprise arrives, you'll have a choice to receive it with walls up or walls down, to accept it with skepticism or with grace, to view it as too little, too late, or as right on time. Heaven is preparing your heart to choose wisely, to see this surprise not through the lens of past pain, but through the lens of present purpose. What God is doing now has nothing to do with what happened then. This is a new thing, a fresh chapter, a clean slate. Don't leave, my child, because the minutes are ticking down faster now. The hour that felt long at the beginning is moving swiftly toward completion. And with each passing minute, the energy intensifies. Can you feel it building? Like pressure before a storm? That's the atmosphere of breakthrough. Stay and observe, because miracles don't always announce themselves with trumpets. Sometimes they whisper. Sometimes they arrive in the form of a simple text message, a quiet phone call, an unexpected email. Don't despise the small beginnings. God often packages his greatest gifts in ordinary wrapping. The surprise might look simple, but its impact will be profound. Don't scroll, because right now, in the unseen realm, angels are celebrating. They've watched you endure. They've watched you persist. They've watched you believe when you had every reason to quit. And now they're rejoicing because your season of waiting is transitioning into your season of receiving. Heaven throws parties when prayers get answered, and your party has already started. Stay until the conclusion, because the person connected to your surprise just felt a surge of courage. Something shifted in them, a final barrier broke. They're no longer asking, what if? They're declaring, here goes. They're typing, they're dialing, they're moving, and with every action they take, your miracle gets closer. Don't leave, my child, because you need to be mentally and spiritually present when this arrives. Not distracted, not doubtful, not dismissive, but fully present, fully open, fully ready. The surprise is a seed, and how you receive it determines what it grows into. Receive it with gratitude, and it grows into blessing. Receive it with bitterness, and it withers before it blooms. Choose gratitude, choose grace, choose growth. Stay and observe, because heaven is about to show you that delay is not denial, that silence is not absence, that waiting is not wasting. Every moment you've endured has been purposeful, shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you. And now you're about to step into what you were prepared for. Don't scroll, my precious child, because the hour is almost complete, but your story is just beginning. My precious child, don't move from this space. The energy you're feeling isn't nervousness, it's recognition. Your soul knows something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. The surprise that's been promised is crossing from the spiritual into the physical realm right now. Stay until the conclusion, because someone is breaking through their last wall of resistance. Their finger is hovering over send. Their heart is pounding. Their breath is shallow. They don't know that heaven is behind them, gently pushing, whispering, it's time. Don't leave, because the next vibration you feel, whether it's your phone, your heart, or the air around you, will carry significance. You'll know the difference between random and divine. One feels empty, the other feels full. One leaves you questioning, the other leaves you certain. Stay and observe, because this surprise isn't coming to confuse you. It's coming to confirm what your spirit already knows. You were never meant to carry that pain forever. You were never meant to wonder if you mattered. This moment, this message, this miracle, it's heaven's way of saying, I saw everything and now I'm answering everything. Don't scroll, my child, because the person connected to this surprise is feeling something they can't explain. A pull, a warmth, a knowing. They might tell themselves it's nothing, but their soul is screaming that it's everything. And heaven is making sure they listen. Stay until the conclusion, because when the surprise arrives, it won't just be words or actions. It will be a feeling, a recognition, a completion. You'll exhale in a way you haven't in years. You'll smile without forcing it. You'll know without doubt that God kept his word. The hour is almost complete. The moment is almost here. And you, my beloved child, are exactly where you're supposed to be. Stay and observe, because the surprise that felt like a promise is about to become your reality. My precious child, this is the final stretch. The space between what was promised and what will be delivered is closing rapidly. Every breath you take is pulling destiny closer. Don't leave now, because someone is seconds away from breaking their silence. Their hands are shaking, their mind is racing, but their heart is clear. They know what they need to say, they know who they need to say it to, and heaven is giving them the courage to finally act. Stay until the conclusion, because the signs are accelerating. You might feel a sudden calmness wash over you, or an unexpected surge of emotion. You might see a name flash across your mind, or hear a song that takes you back. These aren't distractions, these are confirmations. Heaven is saying, get ready, it's happening. Don't scroll, because the person carrying your surprise is being moved by something beyond themselves. They don't understand the timing, they can't explain the urgency, but their soul is responding to a frequency only heaven can broadcast. And that frequency is tuned directly to you. Stay and observe, because when the surprise unfolds, you'll feel it in layers. First, the shock, then the relief, then the overwhelming sense of, this was always meant to be. You'll see how everything you endured, every delay, every disappointment was positioning you for this exact moment. Nothing was wasted, nothing was accidental, it was all orchestration. Don't leave, my child, because the hour is reaching its climax. The countdown that started when you pressed play is about to reach zero, and when it does, your reality will shift, not in loud, dramatic ways, but in quiet, undeniable ways. You'll know, your spirit will confirm it, and you'll finally understand why you had to see this message, why you had to wait until this exact second. Stay until the conclusion, because the surprise isn't just coming to make you smile, it's coming to restore what was broken, to heal what was hurt, to return what was lost. This is your moment, my child, the one heaven wrote into your story before you were born, and it's arriving not a second too early, not a second too late, but exactly when it was always meant to. Stay and observe, because the next sound, the next sign, the next moment of clarity, it will all point to one truth. You were never forgotten. My precious child, the moment is intensifying. Can you feel the shift happening in real time? The atmosphere around you is no longer the same as it was when you started watching. Something has fundamentally changed. Stay until the conclusion, because what I'm about to reveal will explain why this hour was chosen specifically for you. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but right now in this exact moment. The person who carries your surprise has been preparing for this without even knowing it. Every thought they've had about you over the past days, every time your name crossed their mind, every moment they almost reached out but didn't, it was all building to this hour. Don't scroll, because the divine doesn't operate on human schedules. When heaven says, now, everything aligns in an instant. Doors that were locked suddenly open. Hearts that were closed suddenly soften, words that were stuck suddenly flow, and right now, at this very second, that now is activating in your favor. Stay and observe, because the surprise coming isn't just about one person or one moment, it's about restoration of everything that was taken from you. Your peace, your confidence, your belief that good things can still happen. This hour is heaven's way of saying, I'm returning it all and more. Don't leave, my child, because someone is staring at their screen right now, reading and rereading what they want to say to you. They're checking the time, wondering if it's too late or too early. But heaven is whispering to them, there's no wrong time for truth. Send it. And they will. Stay until the conclusion, because when that message arrives or that call comes or that sign appears, you need to be ready to receive it. Not with skepticism, not with fear, but with the calm knowing that this was always part of your story. The delay wasn't denial, it was preparation. And now the preparation is complete. Don't scroll, because the energy building around you is creating a magnetic field. You're drawing in exactly what your soul has been calling for, not what your mind thinks you need, but what your spirit knows you deserve. There's a difference, and heaven knows the difference. Stay and observe, because the person connected to this surprise is experiencing something supernatural right now. They might feel restless, they might feel emotional, they might feel an unexplainable urgency. That's not anxiety, that's divine assignment activating. Heaven is moving them like chess pieces on a board, positioning them exactly where they need to be to intersect with your life again. Don't leave, my child, because the number of minutes remaining is getting smaller. And with each passing minute, the veil between the spiritual and physical is getting thinner. What was hidden is becoming visible. What was silent is becoming audible. What was distant is becoming present. Stay until the conclusion, because this surprise isn't coming alone. It's bringing with it a wave of other blessings you didn't even ask for. Unexpected opportunities, sudden clarity, deep peace. It's all connected, all orchestrated, all timed perfectly. Don't scroll, because heaven doesn't send partial miracles. When God moves, he moves completely. When he restores abundantly. When he answers beyond what you imagined. This hour is proof of that. Stay and observe, because someone right now is battling their ego, their pride, their fear of rejection. But love is winning, truth is winning, destiny is winning, and very soon you'll be the recipient of that victory. Not because you begged for it, but because heaven ordained it. Don't leave, my child, because the signs are everywhere now. Look around, listen closely. That random thought of someone, not random. That song playing with perfect lyrics, not coincidence. That sudden warmth in your chest, not imagination. It's all confirmation that the countdown is real and the surprise is imminent. Stay until the conclusion, because when the moment arrives, time will feel different. It will slow down just enough for you to absorb every detail. The words, the tone, the feeling. You'll want to remember this forever, because it marks the end of one chapter and the glorious beginning of another. Don't scroll, because the person carrying your surprise has just made their decision. They've stopped overthinking. They've released their fear. They're moving now, intentionally, purposefully, and nothing can stop what heaven has set in motion. Stay and observe, because your role in this miracle is simple. Receive. Don't question it, don't minimize it, don't deflect it, just receive it as the gift it is. A gift wrapped in divine timing, sealed with heavenly purpose, delivered by someone who was always meant to be part of your story. Don't leave, my child, because the atmosphere is reaching critical mass. You can almost touch the presence of God around you, that thickness in the air, that fullness in your spirit. That's what it feels like when heaven invades earth, and it's happening right here, right now, in your space. Stay until the conclusion, because the surprise will come in a form that feels both familiar and brand new. You'll recognize the source, but not the depth. You'll know the person, but not this version of them, because they've been changed by the same divine hand that's been preparing you. Don't scroll, because two transformations are about to collide, yours and theirs. And from that collision, something beautiful will emerge. A relationship restored, a wound healed, a purpose clarified. Whatever form it takes, it will be exactly what you needed, even if you didn't know you needed it. Stay and observe, because heaven's surprises aren't always what we expect. They're always what we need, and this hour has been designed to deliver precisely that. Don't leave, my child, because someone is praying for courage right now, asking God if this is the right move, and God is answering, yes, it's time, go, and they're going toward you, with truth, with vulnerability, with something that will change everything. Stay until the conclusion, because when you look back on this hour, you'll see it as a turning point, the moment when waiting turned into receiving, when hoping turned into knowing, when questioning turned into certainty. This is that moment. Don't scroll, because the divine clock is in its final minutes. Every second now is loaded with potential. The air is electric, the moment is ripe, the blessing is descending. And you, my beloved child, are exactly where you need to be to catch it. Stay and observe, because what's about to happen will require no explanation. Your spirit will simply know, this is it. This is real. This is God. And when that knowing settles in, everything else will fall away. The doubt, the fear, the pain, all of it will be eclipsed by the radiance of this divine surprise. Don't leave, my child, because the surprise isn't just coming to visit. It's coming to stay, to root itself in your reality, to become part of your daily testimony. This isn't a fleeting moment. This is a lasting transformation. Stay until the conclusion, because heaven is sealing this moment with authority. What God is doing in this hour cannot be undone by any force. No weapon of doubt, no voice of negativity, no power of darkness. It's sealed, it's secured, it's yours. Don't scroll, because the person connected to this is feeling peace now. The wrestling has stopped. The clarity has come. They know what they're doing is right, and they're doing it right now. As you read these words, they're taking action. Stay and observe, because the gap between promise and fulfillment is measured in seconds now, not days, not weeks, seconds, and each second is pregnant with possibility. Each breath is drawing the miracle closer. Each heartbeat is drumming the rhythm of divine timing. Don't leave, my child, because you've invested this time, this attention, this faith, and heaven honors investment. What you've sown in these minutes, you're about to reap in fullness. The surprise will be worth every second you stayed. Stay until the conclusion, because when it arrives, it won't just touch your life, it will touch your lineage. This moment will become a testimony for generations, a story of how heaven kept its word, how God never forgets his children, how divine timing is always perfect. Don't scroll, because the energy is peaking now. You might feel lightheaded, you might feel emotional. That's not weakness. That's spiritual sensitivity. Your soul is responding to the nearness of God. And when God draws near, everything responds. Stay and observe, because the person bringing your surprise is about to cross the threshold. From thought to action, from intention to reality, they're moving from the realm of I should to the realm of I am, and when they cross that line, your life shifts with them. Don't leave, my child, because this is the moment heaven has been protecting. Every distraction that almost pulled you away, blocked. Every doubt that almost made you close this, dismissed. Every interruption that could have stopped you, prevented, because heaven was determined for you to receive this message at this time in this way. Stay until the conclusion, because the surprise is no longer approaching. It's arriving. The distance has collapsed. The time has come. What was future is now present, and you're about to witness firsthand how God fulfills his promises. Don't scroll because someone just took the final step. They pressed send. They made the call. They took the action. And now the surprise is in motion, traveling through time and space, guided by divine hands, straight to you. Nothing can intercept it. Nothing can delay it. It's yours and it's coming. Stay and observe, because when it lands, you'll feel it in every part of your being. Your mind will register it. Your heart will receive it. Your soul will celebrate it. And you'll know beyond any doubt that this was the hour heaven chose for your breakthrough. Don't leave, my child, because what comes after the surprise is even more beautiful. The peace that follows, the confidence that builds, the joy that radiates. You'll walk differently, talk differently, believe differently, because you'll have living proof that God sees you, hears you, and answers you. Stay until the conclusion, because this message was never just about entertainment, it was about activation. Activating your faith, activating your expectation, activating your readiness to receive. And now that you're activated, the heavens can release what's been waiting for you. Don't scroll because the hour is reaching its divine conclusion. But the conclusion isn't an ending, it's a beginning. The beginning of answered prayers, restored relationships, renewed hope. Everything you've been believing for is converging in this moment. Stay and observe, my precious child, because the surprise that felt like a promise is now your reality. The person is reaching out, the sign is appearing, the moment is here, and you, beloved, are standing in the center of your miracle. The hour is complete, the surprise is here, and your story has just begun its most beautiful chapter.